Vitamin D is in the news. Let's talk about why. My name is Jeremy and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. Vitamin D is in the news due to a recently published study. This study, which was published in Circulation early last month. The researchers in this study looked at vitamin D levels in individuals with a particular kind of heart disease and found that for many of these individuals, they needed to consume several times the RDA of vitamin D to reach the goal vitamin D level. Some of the individuals had to consume levels of vitamin D that were actually higher than the recommended upper limit to meet the goal. Now, before we all go out and start taking massive doses of vitamin D, we need to add some context to this study. First of all, the study acknowledges that vitamin D deficiency is considered to occur when levels fall below 20 nanograms per milliliter. However, the goal level in this study was to reach levels of greater than 40 nanograms per milliliter, twice the level of what is considered to be deficient. Now, the RDA, or recommended dietary allowance for vitamin D, is 600 international units per day for most individuals. And that level of vitamin D intake should allow 97 to 98% of people to reach their minimum vitamin D needs. Now, what that means is that 97 to 98% of people consuming that 600 units per day would have vitamin D levels of greater than 20 nanograms per milliliter. So why are they recommending a level of greater than 40 in this study? Well, this is where things begin to become a bit complicated. Vitamin D is an essential nutrient, meaning that you must consume adequate levels of it on a regular basis to prevent deficiency. Vitamin D deficiency results in decreases in bone density. In children, this can result in rickets, and in adults, it can result in osteopenia and then osteoporosis, a condition in which bones become dangerously fragile. So the RDA is what 97 to 98% of individuals would need to consume to prevent that deficiency. However, in recent years, researchers have started to claim that there may be health benefits to vitamin D consumption in greater amounts than just the minimum required to prevent the deficiency. In particular, many researchers claim that additional intake of vitamin D beyond the RDA level may protect against heart disease. Now, it's difficult to say that that is the case for sure at this time, as the research has been mixed. But anyway, that's the reason they're recommending a higher level in this study. But this higher level is also where we start to run into problems. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans 2020 to 2025 edition does list vitamin D as a nutrient of concern, meaning that a large portion of the population is not even meeting the current RDA for vitamin D. They even acknowledge that some individuals may have to take vitamin D supplements to meet their minimum vitamin D needs. Earlier, I mentioned that there is an upper limit to vitamin D intake that is recommended. The recommended upper limit for vitamin D intake is between 4 and 10,000 units a day, depending on the source. The reason for this limit is that regularly consuming high amounts of vitamin D can cause a condition called hypervitaminosis D, where there's too much vitamin D in your body and it begins to have negative impacts on your health. And it is actually for that reason that it's generally recommended that individuals taking vitamin D supplements have their vitamin D levels checked on a regular basis. And another consideration, that is, if the minimum level was raised from 20 to greater than 40, this would likely result in even more individuals needing to take vitamin D supplements, and then the additional strain and costs on the healthcare system for that monitoring. I'm not sure if we are at the point where we should be recommending higher intake levels of vitamin D for the general population, but the next edition of the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, the 2025 to 2030 edition, is currently being developed, and I'm sure that this is an issue that they will be tackling. In any case, if you are concerned about your vitamin D intake and if it's sufficient or not, don't go out and just buy a bunch of supplements and start taking them. Instead, speak with your doctor. They can tell you if you are at risk for vitamin D deficiency, and they can order tests to determine if you are deficient. And if you do end up needing a supplement, they can recommend a supplement and dose that's appropriate for you. I hope you found this video to be educational. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Like and follow for more food and nutrition related content.